was just last week that Luck met with the Colts, worked out, reviewed their playbook. Trent Dilfer explained to me it was like a free coaching session. Griffin III declined to work out for the Colts. Now both are meeting with the Redskins. So, Mel, I start with you. What, if anything, do we read into Luck meeting with the Redskins?
Well, for the Redskins, I think, Chris, you can't assume anything. If the Colts do throw everybody a curveball, it's happened before. Think about Edgerrin James running back in Miami, going ahead of Ricky Williams. You had Mario Williams go ahead of Reggie Bush. I think you just assume that, hey, it's going to be one way, and then if you're throwing that curveball, you got to be prepared. And I think for the Redskins, that's all they're doing here. And if I'm Andrew Luck, Todd, I'm hoping that the Colts take RG3 because I'd much prefer being a Redskin right now with the makeup of their team as opposed to the mess that the Colts are.
Well, and obviously he's going to be happy being the #1 pick as well, though. The bottom line is we expect it to go Luck 1 and then number 2, the Redskins sitting there, and they will gladly take Robert Griffin III. And if Andrew Luck falls to them at number 2, they'll gladly take him as well. So I think the Redskins just want to make sure that they have good communication with Luck should this improbable scenario play out and Luck winds up going number 2 to the Washington Redskins.
All right, let's move on to the team that's, frankly, the reason why the Redskins are up there at number 2. The Rams have the 6th pick in the draft. How do you see that playing out for them, Mel?
I think it's Justin Blackmon. I think when you're fortunate enough to move down and still see Blackmon there, and there's been a debate, Cleveland, what are they going to do? If they do take Trent Richardson running back out of Alabama, then all of a sudden Justin Blackmon, who you didn't think would necessarily be there, he falls right in their lap. He's the go-to option for Sam Bradford. He's slightly ahead of Michael Floyd on the board in terms of wide receivers. You got to take Justin Blackmon if he's there, Todd. No doubt about it. I think it'll have to be almost etched in stone.
Yeah, I think they would love that pick, absolutely. And I think that's how it should play out because I think Cleveland, whether they go quarterback with Ryan Tannehill or a different position, I think it should be Trent Richardson, the running back for them, because he's higher on the board and he's a better football player than Blackmon. But what happens if you wind up seeing Blackmon go number 4? Then what St. Louis has to make a pick. I know they like to trade back, but I also think that Morris Claiborne makes a lot of sense. The LSU cornerback. We heard all this stuff about the Wonderlic a week ago. Forget the Wonderlic. He's a flat-out, shut-down, man-to-man cover corner who can press you, he can turn and run, and he has as good a ball skills as we've seen in a couple of years coming out of the cornerback position. So I think Morris Claiborne, if you see Justin Blackmon come off the board, would be a great pick. And I'll be honest with you, if they're both still on the board, I would still take Claiborne over Blackmon, even though you have a bigger need at the wide receiver position. Claiborne's just a better football player.
Yeah, Mel doesn't agree with that. I can see him subtly shaking his head, but he doesn't agree.
I agree on this. The Claiborne and Blackmon are similar, but you need Blackmon. You need Bradford to get some help at the wide receiver position. You cannot take
you would get in so much trouble running an organization because you need. Take the better football player. In the long run, it works out.
Between the two, you're splitting hairs.
I'm not splitting hairs.
Blackman's not very good or he's overrated. You're telling me he's a real good player. He's right there with
He's
Claiborne.
not elite.
Bradford needs
Claiborne
him.
is
You're
in the
paying all
elite.
this money to your quarterback. Help your quarterback. He's getting the big-time money in a quarterback-driven league.
Why are you yelling so early today, Matt? We have a long day ahead of us. I'm saying Claiborne's in the elite class, and Blackman's a very good football player. That's all I'm saying.
Come on. It's not that much difference between those two at all. Come on.
All right, well, you two are talking about the very best of this draft. Let's move on to the Saints situation. They traded away the first-round pick, forfeited the second round because of the bounty penalties. Todd, how do they make this successful, this draft?
I don't see how Mel and I can fight about this, talking about 3rd, 4th-round picks. I think they need a pass rusher. Olivier Vernon coming out of Miami in the 3rd, 4th-round range would be a good possibility. I think Nigel Bradham, an outside linebacker, would be another possibility coming out of Florida State. They need to continue to get faster on the defense and get better pass rushers, Mel.
He's got the 3 linebackers in free agency. I agree. Defensive line, another corner. Akeem Hicks, a kid out of Regina Rams in Canada, would be a versatile kid, has a chance there as well.